Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Magdalena Grace. I have the extreme honor and privilege of being your, main host, but a participant actively in this triad of amazing humans who really care about health. And the title of this webinar, How to Live with Vitality in 2025 and Finish the Year strong. We're also just on the precipice of Virgo season. You don't have to get into astrology, but I do believe, you know, Virgo season is the time of year where between late August, late September, we're going back to school. We're getting a lot of thoughts about the end of the year and the holidays, and it can be a stressful time. And it's also a beautiful time, especially as we have the new moon on Friday night, early Saturday, depending on what time zone you're in, where we get to set intentions and be intentional about our health, which is just a great segue if you're just joining us. Welcome, Arindira. Thank you. Type in the chat where you're tuning in from today. Make sure you have something to write with and write on. I'm just going to do a quick intro of the doctors we have today, a little bit why we wanted to do this, and then I'll turn it over to you, Emma. So again, my name is Misty Magdalena Grace. I've suffered from health issues my whole life in one way, shape, or form. I was literally born with gut issues, gut health issues, which is, just so you know, a great Virgo season goal to set if you're wanting to improve your gut health. And I grew up in the pharmaceutical model, the Western medicine model. And for me, that's what my family did. So I just followed suit. And guess what? That only worked so long, going to urgent care as my primary doctor, getting antibiotics. I grew up on antibiotics, which continuously destroyed my health and vitality. Didn't know that because, again, that's not how we were raised. And so by the end of my 20s, I literally hit rock bottom. Finally got diagnosed by a naturopath with leaky gut syndrome. I was depressed, had anxiety attacks, and even some suicidal thoughts because I also was going through a lot of stress out in the 3D world with business and just life happening, death happening. And I tried to take my health seriously, and I did for pretty good for about 2 years. But then life and death kept happening, and stress grew as a mom, as a wife, all of these responsibilities I had as an entrepreneur. I don't know if there's any entrepreneurs in the house. If you want to type in the chat if you're an entrepreneur, and it doesn't matter. I will say this, I've worked for corporate America and got fired from working from corporate America. So that was pretty stressful. And so I never got to the root causes of my health. And so thankfully in 2019, we relocated to Southern California and I got to meet Emma and Burton Wagner and fell in love with their practice. They're not just chiropractors, I call them, in my own words, this is me, edifying you two as shamans, amazing healers that are healing practitioners. Healers a little bit of a slippery word to use, but they truly helped me in ways that no other doctors, medical or chiropractors or acupuncturists or any of those types of professions, all good professions. I still use some of them, but after working with Emma and Burton and bringing my whole family to them for years, I can honestly say they've done more for my mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. And now I can really say they're part of my health team that has empowered me to not also rely on them, but to have tools. And I know one of you said that you were looking for some new tools today. Hey, Carrie, welcome. So we're going to share with you 3 key tips and individually components that we want to share with you today to inspire you, educate, and equip you as you head into Virgo season. And maybe as we go through this time, I encourage you to set an intention. Don't just come here to attend and go, and that was really nice information. Thank you, Emma, Magdalena, Burton. But actually commit to yourself, by this weekend, what do you want to see different, better, more in the next 30 days ahead as we go into Virgo season. So without further ado, Emma, I'm going to let you share a little bit more about you as you start
Perfect.
the presentation.
All right, awesome. So thank you so much for this presentation. I love working with you guys, with your family, with your kids. Such a beautiful family you have, and it's an honor to serve and to help you reclaim your vitality and your health. Welcome, everyone. We're very happy and very excited to offer this webinar today. Thank you for joining us today as we explore how to live with more vitality in 2025. I'm going to share a little PowerPoint, because I think PowerPoints are powerful and it helps us just stay focused on some of the ideas. So this is a pictures of all of three of us, and this is about the webinar that we're going to offer, the three of us, but we're also going to offer a Vitality Day. Dr. B will share more about it. So I am Dr. Emma Wagner. Like Maggie said, I'm a chiropractor and I'm a body whisperer. Today we'll talk about the power of unwinding. My friend and Temple Guardian, Magdalene Grace, will talk and share with you about the ability for the body to regenerate and how to tap into it. My husband, Dr. Burton Wagner, also a chiropractor, will share with us how we can empower ourselves to live with vitality in 2025. So let's look at the first idea. It's that idea to unwind. I want to start this session with the simple but powerful truth. We can't reclaim our vitality if we're constantly in a state of survival. We live in a very fast-paced world where our energy is pulled in every direction. Our emails, responsibility, endless to-do lists, and before we know it, we've disconnected from the most important source that we have, ourselves. So the first step is unwind to reconnect. The idea is to intentionally slow down, not just to rest, but to align. So I invite you right now to take a deep breath with me. Feel that. This is the first step to unwinding. It's subtle, but it's powerful. It's when you give yourself the permission to pause, that we create the space to listen to what our body, mind, and spirit are really asking for. Let's start with a simple truth. Most of us are stuck in patterns and habits. Day after day, we repeat the same routines, sometimes without even realizing it. These patterns can be comforting, but they also can keep us locked in cycles of stress, fatigue, and lack of true vitality. The first step to change is to recognize that we're not as free as we think. We are often running on autopilot. I'm going to ask you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, what are those routines that drain your energy? When do you feel most tense and overwhelmed? And if you want to share with us in the comment box, please share. So what are the routines that drain my energy? When do I feel most tense and overwhelmed? Awareness is such a powerful tool. When we notice our stress, triggers, and patterns, we create space for something new. It's like shining light in a dark room. Suddenly, we can see what's really going on. So once we're aware and we have disconnected from those patterns, we can start to listen to our innate intelligence, our inner guidance. This is the quiet voice inside that knows what we truly need. It tells us to rest, to move, to connect with others, or simply to breathe. But in our busy life, we are often too wound up and ignore this guidance. Learning to listen means slowing down, tuning in, trusting that our body and mind know how to restore balance and vitality. Unwind and act on what you know you need to do. The final step to unwinding is to trust that guidance and to act on it. This can be the hardest part because it often means breaking free of all the habits and expectation. But we can trust ourselves. We can unwind from educated stress and pattern that keep us stuck. We start to make choices that supports our well-being rather than just following the crowd of old routines. This is the first step in reclaiming our vitality by honoring our needs and wisdom. This is why we created this vitality that we're going to talk to you about a little bit later, to really help you unwind and reclaim by honoring your needs and your wisdom. I'm going to now hand back the mic to Magdalena Grace so that she can share with you the second step in reclaiming your vitality, regenerate.
Beautiful. Thank you. So good. I know for me, one of my biggest lessons over the past 3 to 4 years was about learning to trust myself. And so just really tune in with that energy for a moment. Um, how can you trust yourself? It's actually a really uh, deep esoteric question, so I'm not going to get too out there. But do you listen to your intuition? How do you listen to your intuition? And Emma sort of gave us an example. She had you take a deep breath. And part of my journey, along with working with Emma and Dr. B, as I like to call him, is to go within, to really truly remember who I am. And that's what I want to invite you to do in this exercise that I'm going to guide us through. So mine's going to be experiential. So hopefully you're not driving. Be safe if you are driving. But I would go ahead and make sure you're seated, again, distraction free. Make sure the noisemakers are turned off. I'm just starting to prepare you to go inward and to do a regeneration exercise with me. So before we get there, make sure you're comfortable. You want to be seated for this, not lying down. What does regenerate even mean? At the end of the day, when I met Dr. B and Emma, I was a closet alcoholic and I was exhausted because my central nervous system, which again, they work with physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally in their practice, was wound so tight. And I was operating unconsciously from fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And I was on, this is especially during the pandemic. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but during the pandemic, I was on my computer, sometimes, admittedly, from 5:30 in the morning, doing Zooms and networking in Europe and other parts of the world until 5:30, 6:30. Yes, oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit, sometimes 9 o'clock at night. I'd become addicted to dopamine. It's, that hormone that is good in small doses, but when you have dopamine overload, it stresses your central nervous system. You're in fight or flight, which just floods your body and mind with cortisol, which then locks you up with stagnation in your body. And I know she was talking about unwinding. And so when you think of the word regenerate, AI and Google, dictionary.com all said this is to restore, to renew, or to reform something, either physically, spiritually. It actually, regeneration helps regrowth of tissues and organs. And it can also, depending on how you look at it, and I believe we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. I'm going to talk about that just really quick before we do the exercise together. We also have, these spirits that are inside of these meat suits, or, as Tara Brach calls them, space suits, that are on loan to us, right? We all know we are born and then we die, and everything that is in between that dash of our years, our body is the biggest component of that, but there's so much more to us that we get to restore, renew, and generate. And that's called our spirit. And I just came out of 6 days of yoga training, so you can write this down if this resonates with you, and you just maybe think about this as you set your intentions of how you want to regenerate in this little mini practice I'm going to do. Is we're 60% energy. That's why I love that Emma called herself the body whisperer. She's whispering to the energy inside of you. She helps you restore and regenerate through the work that she does and Dr. B does and what we're about to do here. You have the power to do that yourself, just with breath. And we're 60% energy, 30% mind, and then only 10% body is what the yogic tradition teaches. And what we're going to work on now, it includes all three of those, the mind, the body, and the spirit. And within the spirit is our chakra system, which is housed inside of our central nervous system that connects to the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain. You heard me talking about gut health before. If you have digestive issues, I guarantee you're in fight or flight, freeze or fawn, and your central nervous system is out of whack. And when your CNS, as it's called for short, is out of whack, it also means actually your 60% of your body is blocked. And the way I'm going to speak to that is your chakras. So from your root all the way up to your crown. There's these wheels. In Sanskrit, chakra means wheel. And if they're not turning and opening, they're blocking your life force energy, your prana, your chi, and I would call it also known as your divine consciousness source and connection to whatever you believe in is that divinity within that is connecting all of us. So by simply doing this exercise now that I'm going to take you through, my hope is that you regenerate in mind, body, and spirit. And we're going to do it in I'm going to give us 3 minutes or less. I just wanted to explain the why behind it and the importance of it. And as you do it, you can also set an intention of maybe you're mentally kind of blocked today, maybe physically you have some stuckness or stagnation, or you just don't feel great somewhere, or your spirit. Maybe you're kind of down about your career or about a relationship or a health challenge, and you just feel blah. To me, that's like you're disconnected from your spirit. So let's go ahead and actually, let me show you quickly. Forgive me, I almost forgot to show you. I want to model this first, that we're going to do it together, okay? So it's called Nadi Shodhana, which is 1 part breath, meditation, pranayama. If you don't know what those words are, just basically mean is we're going to open up your chakras, clear your mind, get you into your heart, and get you really present and grounded and regenerated in 3 minutes or less. So you're going to take your thumb and put it on your left nostril. I like to say put your index finger on your third eye because we want to connect with that inner wisdom, that inner intuition that Emma was talking about. And we're going to inhale on the left, and then on the exhale, you're going to open up that other nostril and close it. I know it's maybe hard to see, but close the other nostril and exhale out. So you're going to inhale right, hold at the top, index finger on the third eye if that makes sense, if it's okay, and then close that right nostril and exhale out nice and long and slow. Go ahead and join me now. Closed right nostril, inhale left, nice, long, and slow. Hold at the top for a second and then close left with a thumb. Exhale right. Let's keep going. Inhale deep, inhaling love and light, as deep as you can, as long as you can. Close that right nostril and exhale slow and long out the left. Anything that doesn't serve you, any of that mental, physical, spiritual junk. Inhale again, left. Close left, exhale right. Feeling the relaxed mind and body. Inhale right. Hold at the top, exhale left. Keep going just a little bit longer. Inhale left, deepest of the day. Just see so much love and light and pure source energy coming in to your body, cleansing and clearing all those chakras. And as you exhale, seeing a cloud of smoke or dark smoke or whatever, gray, any color that represents that, which no longer serves you, toxins, free radicals. And let's do 2 more. Inhale again. Hold at the top for a split second. And exhale out the nostril. And this, keep your eyes closed. If they're closed, drop your hands down into your lap, palms facing up. And we're just going to close this practice out with just a couple of deep inhales and exhales. Dropping into your heart, go ahead and inhale deep through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. Sip in a little more with the mouth like a straw if you can. And this time, sigh it out really loud. Visualization activates that vagus nerve. So I encourage you to be really loud on the next one. Go ahead, inhale at your own pace. Count up to 5 if you are able to go that high. Hold at the top when you get there, suspending the breath and the mind and feeling that vast expanse of ocean and well of love and light inside of you. Sip in a little more air through the mouth like a straw if you can. And this time, unless you feel like you're going to wake the neighbors, just let it all go. Just taking a moment to feel the difference, do a quick body scan before we open our eyes. Honoring the healer within. And whenever you feel ready, open your eyes. And I'd love for you to type in the chat how you feel. What do you notice mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually? If there's anything subtle, perfect. If there's nothing different, it's okay. If you haven't fallen asleep. Awesome. Beautiful. So hopefully you feel renewed, restored, even just in that little bit of practice. I want to turn it over to Dr. Burton here with his finishing with our third and final tip of the day. Namaste, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Magdalena. Oh, you disappeared. She's back. Thank you for that. So everyone, that was really a process that we're going through. Unwind, regenerate, and now I have a little presentation I'm going to share about empowerment and feeling empowered. Because like Dr. Emma said, that unwinding helps us clear away a lot of the clutter, because that clutter is a lot of what can weigh us down. That regeneration is what enables us to bounce back from all of the clutter that was once there. And now what I'm going to do is share with you that sense of empowerment, really the feeling of being empowered. Because in today's fast-moving world, vitality isn't just about physical health. It's about having the energy to feel alive, capable, motivated. It's really being ready to fully engage with your day and your purpose in life. And that energy comes from actually feeling empowered. Oh, little error here.
Are you having trouble
There we
advancing it?
go.
There you go.
So what is it really to feel empowered? I've got it written out there. It's internal permission, external action. So feeling empowered really means taking and having ownership of our choices. It's about believing in our voice, that external voice we use to talk to the world, but it's also that little voice that tells us what to do, what we should be doing. That voice of not just reason that talks us out of things, it's that voice of knowing that tells us what we should be doing, what we should be getting engaged in. And it's actually acting on those things from a place of strength, not fear. So empowerment and feeling empowered, it's not something that we wait for it to happen. It's something that we actually generate from ourselves. So empowerment really, it begins with that sense of internal permission. I'm going to listen, I'm going to speak, I'm going to pursue my desires. And then it's followed by that external action. It's taking that internal, putting it out there into the outside world, which is really converting all of our potential out there into reality. And together, these two elements, internal permission external action, what it does is it cultivates a powerful sense of self-belief and ability. So what are the three pillars for feeling empowered? Clarity, confidence, consistency. So that clarity is really having clarity about what we value and what our purpose is. We've got to have that focus in mind, kind of like there in that image. If we don't have a clear focus, that feeling empowered is going to be more of a challenge. So we know what our purpose is. We know what we value. And then we have confidence, and that confidence is in our ability to actually take action and make it happen. And then finally, it boils down to the consistency. Feeling empowered is consistency. Remember, I said it's not something that we wait for it to happen. It's what we generate ourselves. And that consistency is that we continue showing up and we continue doing it again and again and again. That empowerment and vitality builds and is present in our lives when we follow through day after day after day after day. So empowerment is energy. It really is that energy. When we feel empowered, we feel energized. And that energy is vitality. So now when we feel powerless, like the image on the left of the screen, our energy drops. We stop taking action and we start second guessing every single idea, every thought, every feeling, everything. It's all those self-doubts come into play. And now this is going to happen to all of us at some point in life. Okay, there's ups and downs in life all the time. So this is going to happen at some point in time. It's not about feeling bad about it when it does. It's just about recognizing when it has happened. Because then in that recognition of, we can make the change. But now, like the person on the right, when we feel empowered, we move, we create, we connect with ourselves on deeper levels, and we connect with others. And then we are really empowered. When we're empowered, it's easier to say yes to our health. It's easier to deepen those relationships, and it's easier for us to actually make our own opportunities. And that's really what vitality is. So now on the event that we're putting together, Vitality Day, this is a day that we've put together to actually empower all aspects of your being. And that being physical, mental, emotional, and spirit. So we put together different modalities, different exercises to address all of these different parts of ourselves so that at the end of the day, we can truly feel empowered, fully empowered. Now, for the physical, we have different body work sessions and we have different energy medicine therapies we're going to be using to help empower that physical part of ourselves, our physical being. We have meditation, we have breath work, we have a neuro-emotional technique that we'll be using to help empower our mental and emotional being. And finally, what we're going to have is an amazing supportive community, which is going to empower us to go deep in that connection with our spirit and ourselves. So now this is the question that can change your hour, your day, your year. Because empowerment isn't about never being afraid or never feeling down. It's about taking action anyway. So ask yourself this question regularly. What would I do right now feeling empowered? And then take action and watch your vitality grow. So now as we move through the rest of 2025 and our future, what I'm going to say is don't just aim for balance. Aim for empowered momentum. If you can see that smile on my face, that's not balance on my face. That's a sense of feeling empowered, taking action, and being fully engaged in life, my health and my well-being. So every small little action we take, it counts. Live like you have power because you do. Don't ever relinquish it. You always have power. So now for those of you who are actually motivated to take action by what we've been talking about here, I'll encourage you to go ahead and sign up to participate in our Vitality coming up on September 14th. As I've explained, we've got a very special day planned, and we still have a few spots available. So we love helping people in this process of reclaiming their vitality, unwinding, regenerating, empowering. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to go ahead and put the sign up link in the chat for those of you who are interested in taking advantage right now. I'll also include a link just to the webpage that talks more about that day. So some of you who are kind of curious, want to know a little bit more, you can take a look there. And know that we're available now for questions, that you can pose your questions to us and we'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so what I say is take action, don't hold back. And I will turn it back over to Magdalena.
Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that empowerment to give yourself permission, because I didn't do that for most of my adult life and for sure childhood. So if anyone has questions just about anything, it doesn't have to be about the Vitality Day, but if you have questions about that, we can answer them. I know Dr. Bio put the information in the chat. It's an all-day event here in Fallbrook at my sanctuary. Indoor, outdoor, and I will say this, having experienced their work for over 5 years now, I don't know where I'd be without them. And so I'm excited to partner with them and bring my Kundalini yoga and some sound healing. And we're on some really, really, really sacred land. When you're on sacred land and you're working with healing practitioners who love you unconditionally and you have fear, it can be scary to come into a space. And our goal is to honor your bravery and be holding you in a safe space so that you can really, truly surrender and let go. Does anybody have any even comments or questions? You can put them in the chat. I do believe, yeah, there is a Q&A feature too. If you would rather stay anonymous, you can, that's the nice thing about the webinar format. You can go to the Q&A feature, which is it should be under your more, the 3 dots where it says more. You can go to select Q&A and you can ask an anonymous question. I know sometimes if you've had trauma or if you've had challenging lives, maybe it's a little scary to ask a question, but just like Dr. Burton said, I would say give yourself permission and take that step. Until we see any questions, Emma, Burton, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I'm going to share a little bit about my day today and how interesting of a day I had. My grandmother, who was 101 years old, passed away last week, and today we had our ceremony of life, our funeral, and it was a chance for us to get together as a family and to recognize how beautiful, how amazing, full of vitality she was when she was alive. And what are some of those principles she shared with us to be well and healthy. And we definitely saw a difference in her life when she lost her husband, when she lost her community, when she lost, as she was aging, she lost many friends. She was one of the last one of her age group alive. And so creating that community that we are talking about is really important to stay healthy, to stay full of vitality, to really, we need that connections to others. We need to listen to our stories. Because we learn from each other's, from our stories, from what we do, from seeing us eat healthy. So for me, a big part of what my grandmother taught me is how to eat healthy. And I'm very happy that I'm going to be sharing food at your house, and I'm going to be the one bringing the food and sharing the food I love to eat um, at your house. So really excited about that. I think we are very lonely in our society. So taking the time to be able to talk and to share and to be with other humans and connected to each other. And for me, it was very important to do this event in person, not online, like this webinar, so that there's a I mean, I'm very thankful to technology and to the ability to have this webinar shared all over the world and taped and everything else. But I think there's such power in bringing people together and really connected at a deeper level, and really like being an energy that's focused on creating something different and creating. And so this day we'll be creating vitality, and you're going to be three amazing workers and healers to help you do that. So I think it's going to be really magical about it.
And if I can say a clarifying thought, but then a comment first, and I will tell you, these two are powerful. I've experienced it in many different ways. So just being to her point, so many of us, including myself, I was isolated and wearing a lot of masks and pretending to be someone I wasn't. Can anybody relate to that? Has anybody ever essentially, you know, did the people pleasing thing, like going along to get along, and my needs don't matter, and I'll just be a sheeple and kind of just follow the pharmaceutical model and the institutional religion model and all of these different models, right? But when they helped me, they were part of my team to tap into my superpower internally, as within, so without, and by being in person with them, that's where the magic really happened, having their hands on me and my family and seeing all of us live healthier and vital lives. So they're magical. So I just want to, state that. And then I did put the price in case you didn't click on the link. The price is 555, but there's 50% off if you sign up for.
Ooh.
Was it my connection, or was it
No,
Maggie's connection?
I think it was Magdalena's. You froze there for a minute.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that means I'm done. Yeah, shoot, it says my internet is unstable. Maybe talk about
Oh.
the discount. Do you want to talk about the discount then?
Like Magdalena was saying, the price is 555, but we have a 50% discount for anyone who signs up before Labor Day, before the 1st of September, because our focus is really having a day where we can help people discover just how amazing they truly are and carry that on in their life and touch their family and touch their friends and share that with their community. So in that way, we can see this sense of vitality grow not just for one person, but we can actually see our communities start to grow in vitality. Now, it takes one person changing to make it happen. It takes one person embracing it and taking it on to make it happen. But once that one person does it, then it just starts growing and expanding and growing and expanding. So that's why we wanted to make it really approachable for kind of anyone and everyone to take advantage of this. The other thing I would say is why it's an in-person day is because it makes it that much easier. We're physical beings, we're mental, emotional beings, we're spiritual beings. So having a day where we can actually be touched on all of those levels is actually an entire being experience. And that's really what we want to help present. I love this webinar opportunity because we get to share ideas. But the physical sense, it's there a little bit. The exercise was great. We all had a physical experience, but that in-touch experience we have with other people, there's an exchange of energy that goes on, which just can't quite be reproduced in a webinar. And so that's why that in-person is so important in building that change within oneself and bringing that out to our families and our communities.
And like Maggie is typing, yes, we're not traveling healers. We're traveling the world. We're going to be in California only for 1 month, the month of September. We're not going to offer those events very often. This is a special day because the 13 is my husband's birthday. So we're
Virgo
going to
birthday.
and so it's going to be a very special day because we really want to share our love, our service with the world. And this is really a unique opportunity to come meet us here in Orange County in Fallbrook. I mean, Fallbrook is not in Orange County, but San Diego County. So it's really
Mhm.
not far. It's an hour away, an hour and a half away. Um, it's a beautiful, our space is beautiful. It's in the nature. There's trees. We love it there. We're so excited to be there.
I put a question in the chat because I'm curious. I'm wondering if I could have my son attend. What do you think?
So I don't want kids, young teenagers. I think your son is 16, 17 now. I'm fine with. I think 16-year-old where they can stay focused, do the exercise,
Mm.
connect with what we're doing. I don't want kids running around that are playful and are going to disturb the environment.
We're going to be building a community kind of group thing. So, like Emma was saying, 16, at that age, kids can actually stay and be a part of the group. Younger than that, kids are not always necessarily going to care about being a part of a group with adults. And so that could be something that could be more distracting than anything else.
Yeah.
And 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old have a lot of challenges today. They're really
Mhm.
lacking vitality. They're very drained by their studies, by their activities. It's a really good time to bring them. I know I started when I was 16 years old in a seminar like this, where I was taught how to meditate, where I was taught how to breathe, where I was taught how to connect with my inner guide. It was missing the chiropractic aspect, the unwinding the nervous system, but there was still so much that I gained when I was 16 and doing this, that it was so beautiful to really, it became normal to me. And using those tools, when you start at 16, you don't have the fear to not do it right. You don't have the fear to, oh, I'm looking stupid when I'm doing this. You don't have the fear of, I don't know how to implement it in my life. Because at 15, 16, that's when you're creating habits. That's when you have the time to start implementing. So it's a really good time actually to get started.
I have to I do get to run to bring my son to his event. So if someone was asking about the exact itinerary or agenda, I'm going to leave that up to you if you want to share that, and I can bid you farewell and let you be the host if you'd like.
So in terms of activity we will be doing that day, thank you, Magdalena. We love you. We look forward to seeing you. Have a great day. So in terms of activities we're going to do that day, we're going to like so of course we're going to do some energy work where we're going to incorporate a little bit of unwinding chiropractic, especially on the physical, the mental, the emotional, like my husband was saying. We're going to do some sun bowl healing. We're going to do some movement with yoga, meditation. We're going to do some, we're going to have some technology that we're going to bring into that is using energy medicine to balance and increase vitality within our cells. So we have a different, I think some of our activities are listed on the website. Make sure that you look at the website, and if there's not even information, I'm happy to share it with you more. Send me an email. I'm going to put down my email down here so that if you have more questions, this would be a great place to ask more questions. Do you have anything else to add, honey?
To what was added? No, I was just typing in the chat some of the additional things that we're going to have going on that day. So just trying to build out a little bit more of a list.
And thank you, Arindira. It was nice to have you on the call today.
Thank you to everyone who jumped
Thank
on
you to
today.
everyone to jump on
Thank you to
today.
everyone who was here. And I hope that you all got something out of just this webinar today that you're gonna be able to take into your life. to help make a change. Maybe it's going to be to be able to unwind with a little more ease. Maybe it's going to be to actually bring a little regeneration into what you're doing. Maybe it's going to be to find a sense of empowerment, to understand how to feel empowered. So I really do hope that everybody got just at least one little nugget of something out of today.
Well, we hope for you a good day, and we will see you hopefully on the 14th, and if not at the office before that. You have all a good day.
We're available. Feel free to reach out to us.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone.